It's time for Mornings at 8 with Jonathan Mark on AM 1480 WLEA.
Well, yes, it is time for Mornings at 8. It is, 8:05 on a Wednesday morning, halfway through the week. So you can see the weekend peeking up over the horizon just a little bit. It'll be here soon enough. We're halfway there. Well, this is the last day of July, as a matter of fact, right? The 31st, 30 days has September, January. It's the last day of July. So just August tomorrow already. Man, what a fast summer. Let me see. As a matter of fact, right before, I had nothing in pen, everything in pencil, that's right. Brian was telling me right before we went on the air that Congressman Tom Reed held a town hall meeting in Elmira yesterday. And apparently a bunch of people from Ithaca showed up in Elmira. And now what was that about, Brian?
Yes, this is something that happens a lot, actually. Everybody who's quoted in the WENY report and everybody who's quoted in the Corning Leader report on this town hall, everybody quoted in the story is from Ithaca, which isn't all that far from Elmira.
True.
But they do have a way of going to Reed's town halls.
So so in other words, they kind of like hijack a town hall.
They do kind of monopolize a town hall, which, he does have town halls in Ithaca sometimes, and then they go to the Ithaca residents will sometimes, the activists from there.
Right, yeah.
A lot of them are like Cornell University professors. They'll go to town halls anywhere. I mean, I've seen them in Allegheny County town halls.
A little far from Ithaca, but I guess some people have nothing better to do or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's their right to do that, and there's no restriction. You don't have to be from the town to go to the town hall, but it does have the appearance that they're trying to make it appear that everyone is mad at Tom Reed in the congressional district, and I don't think that's the case.
That's true. That's true. Well, if you're vocal enough and loud enough, and there you go. It seems like you're in the majority. You're just louder than everybody else. That's all.
Yeah, if you look at the reports, the original topic was supposed to be Social Security, but the Ithaca residents who went made it about the squad and abortion.
That's right. Okay, fine. That's there's a local issue in Ithaca. Okay, I remember when was it? 2 years ago, I believe. Congressman Reed held a town hall meeting. I don't remember where it was. But this was during when the Black Lives Matter was just exploding on the scene. And some lady in the audience asked...
That was in Ithaca. I went to that one. Ithaca.
And some lady in the audience said, Congressman Reed, do Black Lives Matter?
And she wanted him to ask the question.
Right.
Yeah.
So Tom Reed said, ma'am, all lives matter. And she shot back, that's racist. And I'm wondering, how could all lives matter be a racist comment? So I'm not quite sure exactly why that would be. Do Black Lives Matter, ma'am, all lives matter, and that's racist. Okay, well, that's some people are like that, and there you go. Alrighty, it's something that makes a little more sense. The buffalo, that's right, near Albany. Well, there were 75 buffalo running around loose. They broke out of their pasture or something, and away they went. And most of them have been rounded up. So that's good news in the Albany area. There you go. And you wonder, 75 buffalo, that's got to be pretty expensive. I don't know how much a buffalo costs. I haven't really priced one lately. But, wow, man, it's got to be a lot of money you're running around. So the rest of them are out hiding somewhere, I guess. And they will probably find them at some point. I mean, how do you miss a buffalo, right? Okay. This is kind of interesting. The National Forest, what is it? The U.S. Forest Service plans to conduct controlled burns in part of the 16,000-acre national forest in, where is it? The Finger Lakes National Forest. So they plan on burning about the 30 acres and get rid of some underbrush and all that stuff. And that's very nice. So if you're up in that area, now where is it exactly? The Finger Lakes National Forest is on a ridge between Seneca and Cayuga Lakes. And it's the only national forest in New York State. How do you like that? Anyways, so they're going to do a controlled burn there and get rid of about 30 acres of, junk, Okay, last night was the second Democratic debate. And I really don't know, what do you bring away from that? Well, other than free everything for everyone, that's always good. Everything's free, everything's on the house, meaning the U.S. taxpayer. So that was pretty much the message. And somebody else was calling for decriminalizing illegal border crossings. In other words, open borders, I guess. Why even have a why even bother with the border? It's totally pointless. I don't know. So come on in. Everything is on the house, and the U.S. taxpayers will pay for it, and everything's good there. But the one that made this was a story on ABC News. It says Congressman Tim Ryan, the Democrat from Ohio, caused something of a stir last night. He was the only one of the 10 candidates on stage in Detroit not to put his hand over his heart during the national anthem. Maybe he planned on kneeling too, but maybe it would to put a hole in his slacks or something, So I don't know. So he didn't put his hand over his heart, and that caused a big thing. And let me see. I haven't exactly read this. Let me look here. No, it isn't anywhere here. But I believe, just in case he is chosen as a candidate, Tim Ryan, probably not. But if he is, I think he will choose Colin Kaepernick as his running mate. So I think that would be a great idea. So Colin Kaepernick can kneel, and Tim Ryan can not put his hand over his heart, and that'll be okay. Now, there's a photograph here in front of me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The 10 candidates are lined up on stage in Detroit here. And I don't know. Actually, the debates really don't interest me right now. I'm waiting for the swimsuit competition. When the swimsuit competition comes along, then I'll watch. I think that'd be kind of neat. Now imagine Joe Biden in a swimsuit, or Bernie Sanders, or maybe Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders. Okay, so that will certainly get my attention there. Swimsuit competition eventually. And of course, this is making news again. Woodstock 50. That's right. Remember that? On again, off again, on again, off again. So the Wandering Concert. So it was going to be, of course, this is going to be a commemoration of the 50th year. That's right. The Woodstock, blah, 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 1969. There you go. Anyway, so, it first was going to be held in Watkins Glen. That didn't work out. And then it was going to be held in Vernon, New York. That didn't work out. Now they're planning on holding it somewhere outside of where? Baltimore. I don't know. So, this is sad news. What a terrible tragedy. Miley Cyrus has pulled out of Woodstock 50. I'm sure a lot of people are very disappointed in that. Miley Cyrus will not be singing or whatever she does at Woodstock 50. So this is from Variety. It's been a tough 24 hours for Woodstock 50. My goodness. Headliner Miley Cyrus. Headliner Miley Cyrus has pulled out of the festival. A source close to the situation tells Variety, joining the Raconteurs, the Lumineers, and the original, Woodstock 69 group's John Sebastian. He is pulled out. John Sebastian. The Lovin' Spoonful. That's right. He was the lead singer of Lovin' Spoonful. What a great song. They did have really one good song. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in magic? Great song. Anyway, so he's not going to be there. Country Joe McDonald, who I have no use for at all. He had some really nasty songs during the 60s. I'm really, really anti-American songs. I didn't like him at all, so I'm glad he's not going to be there, but really, who cares? Let me see. So he's pulled out. Country Joe McDonald is pulled out. Also not going to be there, Jay-Z, The Dead and Company, as well as John Fogerty from CCR, right? He's not going to be there either. So while the status of Imagine Dragons and The Killers, the last two headline-level acts not to pull out, was unclear at the time of publication. And the festival is not listed in the upcoming tour dates on either act's website. So, regardless, sources tell Variety that the festival is moving ahead as a one-day event, and that so far 4 or 5 acts, including the Zombies, have agreed to be there. Let me see. The festival remains scheduled to take place, maybe possibly, outside Baltimore the weekend of August 16th and 18th, or through the 18th. although this isn't set in stone either. So they might... let me see. One group that has kept the faith all along has been the Zombies, the only group so far to confirm to Variety that they're still on board. Co-manager. What's she co-manager of? Probably the festival. This is Cindy De Silva. And she says, I always believed it would happen, which might sound kooky, yeah, but we're at a messed up moment in time right now, and the spirit of Woodstock is something that we need. Depending on what you think of Woodstock 69, I don't know. Anyway, so we need that spirit right now, whatever that might possibly have been. If this was any other festival, I'd say give it up already, she continues, but maybe the way it's happening is right. It shouldn't be for profit. Woodstock 50 shouldn't be for profit. Isn't that what the whole thing was about? I think. That was what caused all this stuff anyway, was the money. But it shouldn't be for profit. It should be about peace and love and music and charity and people coming together. Yes, sirree, Bob. So, that's not going to work. Let me see. What else here? Yeah, okay. So this may or may not happen. And I suppose at this point, who really cares? I mean, really. So that's, it was money. It was about the money. The whole thing was about the money. Please, to be honest, okay? Okay, what else? How about, this is from CBS in Pittsburgh. 79-year-old Ohio woman sentenced to 10 days in jail for feeding stray cats. This is from KDKA. Nancy Segula, 79 years old, lives in Garfield. This is kind of cute. She lives in Garfield Heights, which is near Cleveland. A lady who loves cats lives in Garfield Heights. Okay, there you go. However, it's illegal to feed stray cats in Garfield Heights. And she says, I would always feed them and take care of them because I was worried about them, and I'm a cat lover, I guess. And then once my neighbors around here started being unhappy about it, and they called the animal warden. So the cops say after several warnings, Segula continued to feed the animals. And a judge has now sentenced her to 10 days in the Cuyahoga County Jail. So the 79-year-old lady is going to go to jail for 10 days for feeding stray cats. Her family says the punishment is too harsh. And her son says, I'm sure people hear about the things that happen downtown in that jail. Not a lot of good things at all. And they're going to let my 79-year-old mother go there? So, the 79-year-old lady has to report by August 11th, and she's going to jail for feeding stray cats. Okay, there you go. That sounds good. What else have we here? Well, okay, let me see. You know, I think being in law enforcement, you run into some pretty strange situations, okay? Meet some pretty odd people doing really weird things, you know? And it's got to, I mean, every day's got to be totally different. Here in New York, let me see, state troopers near Hogansburg stopped a vehicle with 100 pounds of marijuana in it. 100 pounds of marijuana. I don't know if the guy said it was for his own personal use. I'm not quite sure. That might last him about 3,000 years. But so he had 100 pounds of weed in the car, and he's under arrest. Now, New York State has loosened its marijuana laws. It's loosened them. But maybe not quite that much. Okay, and this was from Oklahoma, Guthrie, Oklahoma. Sheriff's deputies in Guthrie, Oklahoma say they found a rattlesnake, a canister of radioactive powdered uranium, and an open bottle of Kentucky whiskey during a traffic stop of a vehicle that had been reported stolen. The traffic stop happened in Guthrie, about 30 miles north of Oklahoma City. Okay, anyway, they didn't, the deputies didn't know why the uranium was in the vehicle or how it was obtained, although uranium ore can be bought on Amazon. Now that's a story right there. Why you can buy uranium ore on Amazon? What do you use uranium for? Other than making an atomic bomb? I don't know. I have no idea. Anyway, so in this vehicle, which had also been stolen. By the way, Now, the guy who's arrested, what's his name? Oh, there's no name. They don't give his, well, really, who cares? Anyway, his last name is Jennings. So there's a photograph of Jennings on this story. A mugshot.
And it looks kind of like a real tough character. You're kind of a 3-day growth of beard and kind of long hair and earrings in him there, and looks like a tough character. Here you go.
So old Stephen Jennings had a rattlesnake, a canister of radioactive powdered uranium, and an open bottle of Kentucky whiskey in the car. So now he's in jail, and I'm still trying to figure out how you can buy uranium ore on Amazon. And once you have this uranium ore, what do you do with it? I don't know. I have no idea.
But I guess he has plans for the uranium ore and the rattlesnake, and take a shot of whiskey here, and we'll do that stuff.
Okay, what else here? This is kind of neat. This is Fox News. A Texas grandmother, 110 years old, celebrated the birthday on Saturday, and she credits faith for a long and healthy life. And, of course, this is radio, and I'm here live, so I can't show you the video. It's like impossible. But there was a video with this story, and she's having a birthday party in Houston. And this lady, Elizabeth Francis, was born in Louisiana. She's 110 years old, and she doesn't look a day over like 80. I have no idea. Maybe because she credits faith for her long and healthy life. But she looks like a really interesting, kind, pleasant, fun person. And she's having a birthday party. And the Houston mayor was there. Let me see. She has seen 6 generations of her family. Community leaders were there, sang her happy birthday. And, how cool is that? Some people say, well, I've lived a long life because, well, I drank a quart of whiskey every day, or I ate whatever, every day in my life. But she just says it was faith. How cool is that? Yep. And just last month, another Texas woman, Hattie Mae Allen, turned 105. And that was a 3-hour drive from Houston. And she also credited God. And she said, we put Jesus first. And she still teaches on Sundays. Teaches on Sunday school. Wow. That is very, very nice. There's a lesson right there. Probably the most important story out of all this. Yeah. Okay, insurance. That's right. Insurance is very important for everyone, you, me, and everybody. How about the Ryan agencies? You can do no better than the Ryan agencies. They have offices in Hornell, Jasper, and Wellsville. Give you some phone numbers here. In Hornell, if you want to contact them, it's 324-7500. In Jasper, their number is 792-3800. And in Wellsville, area code 585-593-4244. And why the Ryan agencies? Well, they're local. They do the insurance shopping for you. They offer sound, unbiased advice. They're friendly, they're local, they're insurance experts. You can do no better than the Ryan agencies.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
Major League Baseball's trade deadline is 4 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. Tuesday featured a 3-team deal involving the Indians, Reds, and Padres. Cleveland star pitcher Trevor Bauer is headed to Cincinnati for outfielders Yasiel Puig and Franmil Reyes. San Diego pitcher Logan Allen, as well as a minor league prospect from each of the Padres and Reds, are headed to Cleveland, and San Diego picks up Red star outfield prospect Taylor Trammell. On the field, we had an honest-to-goodness base brawl in Cincinnati between the Pirates and the Reds. Pittsburgh wins at 11-4. In the ninth inning, Reds relief pitcher Amir Garrett charged the Pirates dugout, sparking a nasty brawl. 5 players ejected in all, including Yasiel Puig, who had been traded and didn't know it. Cardinals beat the Cubs 2-1. St. Louis claims first place in the NL Central, moving 1 game up on Chicago. 10 innings for the A's to walk off with a 3-2 win over the Brewers. Oakland remains a half game up on Tampa Bay for the final wildcard spot in the American League. The Rays kept pace with a 6-5 win over the Red Sox. Braves beat the Nationals 11-8.
From the Fox Business Network, Apple wasn't selling as many iPhones in its spring quarter. Sales declined 12% from a year ago. People are holding on to their phones longer, and they're buying cheaper phones from Apple's competitors in China. Apple made up for the slump by selling more iPads, Macs, and wearable devices, the Apple Watch, wireless earbuds and headphones, and also services. Ratings service Nielsen Holdings could be selling itself in pieces. The New York Post says Nielsen was attempting to sell the entire business at auction, but it failed to find a buyer. Nielsen is believed to be worth $17 billion. The Federal Reserve is expected to lower interest rates at the conclusion of its meeting today. The Dow Jones Industrials dropped 23 points yesterday. The Nasdaq was down 19, the S&P down 7. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Jenny Cosola.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section and after Dad's back injury. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Trouble with opioids can start at home with unused medicines such as pills, patches, and syrups. You can remove the risk and protect your family. Find out how at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Today at Simmons Rockwell Nissan in Horseheads and Hornell, drive away in a new Nissan Rogue lease for only $279 a month. A new 2019 all-wheel drive Nissan Rogue S model with rear cross traffic alert, blind spot warning, and touchscreen display. Lease with no money down for $279 a month for 36 months. Only tax and DMV fees are due at signing. Shop Simmons-Rockwell.com.
And here we are. This is from the Washington Post. Sometimes you have, before you make accusations, sometimes you got to just hold off a second, just think this through. As he was starting his shift earlier this month, a deputy with the Marion County Sheriff's Office in Indianapolis went to heat up his McChicken and fries when he found some unsettling evidence. Someone had taken a bite out of his meal. And he said, "I know I didn't eat it," said the deputy, who identified himself as a DJ. "I said, you know what? I'm going back to the McDonald's to see if they can get that taken care of." So the store offered him free food. But he said he couldn't care less about extra fries or more burgers. The deputy suspected an employee was targeting him because he was a cop, and he just wanted justice for his McChicken. He says, "I just wanted to find out who the person was, and they deal with that person in an appropriate way." Both McDonald's and the sheriff's office launched a full investigation to find the truth. This is a McChicken. Launched a full investigation to find the truth. But on Friday, this past Friday, the cops found that the culprit was not an employee who wanted to mess with law enforcement. Instead, DJ simply forgot he had already taken a bite out of the McChicken. The employee took a bite out of the sandwich upon starting his shift at the Marion County Jail. This was from the sheriff's office. The employee, this deputy, took a bite out of the sandwich upon starting his shift at the Marion County Jail, and then placed it back in the refrigerator in a break room. He returned nearly 7 hours later, having totally forgotten he had previously bitten the sandwich. So the sheriff's office added, he wrongly concluded that a McDonald's restaurant employee had tampered with his food because he's a law enforcement officer. The officer has now formally apologized to McDonald's for the false accusation. So I don't know how could you possibly eat a sandwich and then totally forget that you had taken a bite out of this? I don't know. Anyway, so there you go. It wasn't an employee, although there have been instances of that happening. Matter of fact, in the rest of the story, there have been some instances of employees tampering with law enforcement's order. Okay? This is a really nasty one. This was where was this? It was at a fast food place in Florida where some employee wrapped a burrito in bleach. So it can get a little nasty. Yeah, I suppose it can, but for this deputy in Indianapolis. I guess he had taken a bite out of his own sandwich, and a couple of hours later, completely, totally forgot. Okay, fine. I hear the music. Okay, I will see you tomorrow at 8:05. Bye.